Hey, what's up guys? I'm here at the car wash for two particular reasons. One, because my car is filthy dirty as you can see, and second of all, because my engine does not look any different than the outside of the vehicle. Now, what I'll be sharing with you on this video is how I've been washing my engines for the last 15 years with different vehicles, not just with this one. So whenever it's dirty like this, I bring it to the car wash, do it myself, because it is kind of pricey if you get a steam wash. Now, the only thing that you got to watch out for is the alternator, which is hiding right there. What you can do is you can put a plastic bag on top of it to prevent any water going into the alternator. Now, to clean the engine, I use this tire cleaner, and me personally, I like the results better than those cans degreasers that you can find at your local auto parts. And once again, it's free. It comes with the car wash. It's an option, so you're pretty much washing the engine for free. Now, one thing you gotta keep in mind though is that not all of the car washes have these options available. So before doing this project, go to the car wash that you desire and make sure that they have this option available. Now that we got that covered, we're gonna move into the next step, which is spraying the engine. Now, there's nothing special about this. It's pretty much common sense. So you gotta do is spray the entire engine, especially on those tight corners that are hard to reach. That's where most of the oil buildup's gonna be. So just make sure you get every little tight corner, every angle behind or on the side of the engine, not just spray it from the top, because once the engine's clean, then you're gonna start noticing. Now, one of the reasons why I clean the engine periodically is because once in a while you're gonna get leaks. My car is almost due for oil change, so before I take it to the mechanic, I want to make sure that he inspects every little corner. Now you can see here that this cap is leaking, so that's one of the reasons why I wash it. I just want to wash it. And also here you can see a little oil buildup, so I just want to have the engine clean. That way when I take it to the mechanic, he'll be able to tell me if there's any major leaks that I might be concerned about, or if it's just something cosmetic. Now, one thing I noticed when I was popping the hood is that my headlights are in very bad shape. Now, if you haven't seen my video when I restored the headlights, you might want to go and check that out. I'll put a link at the end of the video so you guys can check that out. All I gotta do now is buff them and they will be looking like brand new. Now, going back to the car wash, after you spray the engine with the tire cleaner, all you gotta do is pretty much wash your vehicle. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and give it to the big boss over here, my son, take care of the car wash while we cover more bases on this process. Now, the headlights, they look pretty nice, but that's just because they're wet. Once they dried out, they're gonna look bad, just like they did when I showed you earlier. Now, one thing you gotta keep in mind though, that I'm pretty much just covering the bases on BMWs. This does not cover bases on Nissans, Toyotas, or Hondas, or any kind of vehicle out there, especially American vehicles. Now, if you got an American vehicle, I honestly will not recommend you doing this, just for the fact that everybody knows that American vehicles, they tend to be more sensitive and they have a whole lot more sensors. So the best way that you can go with will be steam cleaning. Now, that doesn't only apply to American vehicles, that it applies to any vehicle. The best and safest way that you can wash your engine will be steam cleaning. Now, the downside to that though, that it comes with a price tag. It could range from anywhere from $60 to about $120 depending where you live. Alright, so we're pretty much done watching the exterior of the vehicle, or I should say my son's done watching the vehicle. So now all I have left over to do is pretty much rinse the engine. Now, one thing I forgot to mention though is that when you start watching the engine, just apply that tire cleaner or degreaser and leave it on there, and you can proceed by washing the exterior of the car. So once you're done watching the exterior of the car, you can come back and rinse the engine. Now, one thing I gotta tell you though, you have to be careful. You don't take more than 10 minutes, because these chemicals really strong and you will start lifting up the paint if you leave it for too long. I did that on my Acura, and trust me, I regret the results, because it started lifting all the stickers, or all the warning stickers, and some of the paint. So you might want to be careful and keep that in mind. Now, when you're just hosing down the engine, just make sure you don't use a lot of pressure, because a lot of pressure might damage some components, especially the sensors, oxygen sensors, the fan clutch. So just make sure you have some light pressure on that hose. Now, one thing though, just make sure you get all those tight corners, like I'm doing here behind these reservoir, behind the alternator, all those tight corners, because if oil is leaking from your engine, most likely they're gonna be there, and once you're done, you're gonna notice all the spots you missed. Now the last thing I want to bring up is that if your vehicle starts making this loud noise after you turn it on, maybe a day or a few days later, don't worry about it. That's totally normal. What you need to do is get some WD-40 or some pulley lubricant and just apply it to the pulleys. That means the pulleys are dry, they need to be lubricated. Alright, so I'm all done now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and turn on the vehicle so you guys can see that it does start after you watch the engine. Alright, so it's about 5 hours after I watched the engine. Now the engine is dry and it looks pretty nice. I mean, it looks just like when I bought it off the dealer. You know, and I have not applied any shine. It looks pretty good. Now if you're selling your vehicle, this might be a good selling point. Alright, now I'm gonna go ahead and apply some shine to the engine just to show you guys the difference between shine and no shine. This can over here cost me about $4 plus $10 of the car wash, so you're looking at about $15 into this project. Once again, it's better than spending about $120 depending where you live. Now another option that you have is you can use Armor if you have it laying around, but me personally, I don't like the results of Armor. For some reason, it leaves this thick layer and greasy layer, and in about a month you're gonna see a lot of dust pile up and it's really hard to clean it up. You're gonna have to wash the engine again, so I'd rather spend the $4 and get better results for a longer period of time. Now once you're done applying the shine, you have two options: either let it dry by itself or clean it up with a microfiber cloth. Me personally, I let it dry just because I don't like how it looks when you wipe it down. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and let it dry. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna go ahead and buff these headlights. Now once again, if you haven't seen that video, go to my channel and look for it. It's gonna be the headlight restoration video. That's gonna help you understand a lot of how to restore the headlights. Now like I said in that video, there's a lot of things that people don't seem to understand, and one of them, which is the most important, is that you have to remove the oxidation before you buff the headlights. A lot of people just buff them or use toothpaste, and it does work. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but the problem is that the results are not going to be the same and they're only going to last you for a couple weeks. Now if you do the way that I show, this is going to last you for a very long time. Now the last time I buffed these headlights was about 5 or 6 months ago, and once you remove the oxidation, all you have to do is buff them. Now I fast forward this clip so you guys can see from beginning to end that all I'm doing is just buffing the headlights. I'm not using any other chemical, and the results are pretty amazing, and you can even see myself there on the background. Alright, so this is it guys. This is about 5 or 6 days after I washed the engine and I applied the first coat of shine. Now sometimes a second coat is required. For example, this time I guess I'm gonna give it a second coat because I know there's some spots, for example here on the radiator cover and here in front of this valve cover. Now for some reason it feels kind of sticky. It feels like if it's Armor, but you know what the heck, is I guess the purpose here is to protect the engine and to protect the plastic. Now this is the first time I use gunk shine. I couldn't find the can that I used the previous time, so you know, I guess I'll just stick to this one for now. Now one thing about these cans though is that it only has a lot of chemical in there, so you might have enough for 3 different vehicles or 3 different times. Alright, so I pretty much did what I wanted to do. I wanted to show you how it looks without shine and with shine, so it's your call if you want to apply the shine or if you don't. Now this is it guys. Thanks for watching my video. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more DIY videos, go to my channel, and if you find my channel helpful, please subscribe. Peace.